Here, this used to be our receiving door.
For 15 years, this was like a second home to Robert McDonald. He bought the building from Kernhill Furniture in 2007 and turned it into Surplus Direct, a discount furniture store. In February, it burned down along with 2 neighboring buildings, and for the past several months, he's been battling with the province over how to tear it down.
How has it been for me? Yeah. Hell. Hell with a capital H.
The issue is whether or not there's asbestos in the building. If there is, McDonald says the demolition will cost about $400,000. That's more than double the $150,000 for a conventional demolition. That's because building materials have to be watered down, bagged, and taken to a landfill so that asbestos doesn't get into the air when the building is torn down. Whatever the amount, it comes out of his insurance settlement.
The province says many building materials used before 1990 contained asbestos. Because of that, Manitoba laws assume that an old building has asbestos unless it can be proven otherwise.
The building was constructed in the 1950s. McDonald says a consultant hired through his insurance company took 20 samples of building materials and debris. 19 came back negative for asbestos, while 1 had trace amounts, below Manitoba Workplace Safety and Health's definition of asbestos. But the consultant says that wasn't good enough for the province.
They basically responded that because debris is a very difficult thing to analyze, that any trace amount was deemed to be asbestos containing.
McDonald says the province just told him they recently collected 7 of their own samples from his building and found high levels of asbestos in 2.
Until they could prove the testing, and I can't see from a negative test to whatever their test results would be, that there's that much difference. I really truly find it hard to believe.
McDonald says the province didn't provide any proof or photos showing the samples were taken from his building, and he will not take their word for it. He says the only way to get on the same page is if all the parties get together and retest the site for asbestos. Otherwise, he's prepared to take the issue to court. In the meantime, he says this rubble will continue to be an eyesore for the area.
Put that back. That's the building. Put it back. Okay.
And a place where looters go behind the metal fence to take whatever they can. Caroline Bargood, CBC News, Winnipeg.